Good morning, folks. Today is Thursday, August 8th. Welcome to the operational briefing for the park incident. My name is Gwendolyn Ozard, Planning Section Chief. Before we get started with our briefing, please take a moment and turn your cell phones and radios down. If you do need to take a phone call or have a side conversation, step outside of the briefing area. To start us off, we will review our incident objectives. Our management objectives remain unchanged. Our control objectives are to keep the fire north of Skyway, keep the fire east of Highway 99, Highway 36, Manton Road, Rock Creek Road, and Wilson Hill Road. Keep the fire south of Highway 44 and keep the fire west of the Pacific Crest Trail. Current situation.
All right, good morning. The word of the day yesterday was spot fire, and we had a lot of them. The good news is all the folks that were out there yesterday worked diligently to pick them all up. So I'll start from the south, working our way around. On the south side of the fire, this lower portion was on patrol and mop-up. No real significant, nothing significant in there. A couple calls for services, but nothing significant. Then up here, right about Dye Creek area, right about 8 o'clock last night, we had a spot fire, went about 10, 15 acres. We got resources on it, aircraft on it. There's going to be some work out there, but they picked it up, stopped it up in this Dye Creek area. But this is on a side of the fire that's been pretty quiet, so it just reinstitutes the fact that we got to stay diligent on these things and make sure they're put to bed. So as we wrap around the horn, we still had some issues up on our finger up by Manton. Heavy, thick brush, had some fire in it, put a lot of work in there, and the folks did a great job, but it's also going to need some more work up there. That's going to be a problem child for a little bit. No significant growth in there, just a lot of heat and a lot of smokes. Then as we come around in a branch 15, that's where we had all of our big fire operations. So trying to get around Turner Mountain and tie that whole area in. There's a lot of work picking up some stuff. Coming down through TQ, TU, that area over there, they went direct on just about everything that they could. They had to do some indirect stuff, and they'll have to tie that in. And then working our way up into TW, same thing. There's some issues up there trying to tie in that Turner Mountain, but a lot of progress was made, and there's a good plan. We're going to continue with that, but they did nice work. Yesterday, the 36 corridor down 32 and then 36 into 172. That area, we had a firing operation that was very successful. We did have a couple of small spots, short-range spotting across 36. They gridded it yesterday, picked them all up. I would expect to see some more over there. And then along 172, we had a slop over. Initially, it was only about 5-10 acres, and that spotted up onto Doe Mountain. And we have about 50 acres up there with multiple spots. So last night, a firing operation was started about 1 to wrap that all up. Continued through today and into this morning. It was successful. And they were able to wrap that down and bring it back down to 172. And so there'll be a lot of work up in that area as well. As we come down, the rest of the fire coming down into BK and up off of the L line up there in the K line. They did have a 5-acre spot fire up there as well, and we're able to wrap that up. But they've had spot fires up there every single day, and yesterday was no exception. So I would expect the same. And then coming down into the 32 corridor, all was quiet over there. A little bit of calls for service. Still a lot of smokes that popped up in the afternoon once that wind got on it, heat got on it. A lot more smokes than the day before, so I would expect the same. So yesterday's word for the day was spot fire. I would say today's word for the day is spot fire, but don't give up on them. Go out and get them. Make sure you put them to rest. Get them all wrapped, and thanks for a good day of work.
Weather.
Okay, good morning. Incident meteorologist Ryan Walburn with the park incident. So let's start at the big 30,000 foot level. Today, Thursday, August 8th, so roughly the fire's 2 weeks old now. We're coming out of basically a record July in terms of heat across this part of California, and since we've been here, it's been continued hot and dry. In terms of what we have in the IAP forecast this morning, I'd urge you to kind of take a peek through that. Feel pretty good about what's in there, although right now the raws this morning starting the day between 6 and 11%. Colby Mountain down there in Branch 20, 6%. The Lassen Lodge raws at the Branch break is 11%. So single-digit humidity recoveries, that speaks to the spot fires that operations was talking about. So we're starting out dry. A lot of you guys maybe were last working Tuesday. That was a really active day. In comparison to that, we expect conditions to be more moderated. But now the changes are so subtle. We're still talking, if you're working in branch 10, branch 12 today, high temperatures, 100, 105 degrees, up in branch 12 and 18. Excuse me, branch 15 and 18, high temperatures in the upper 80s. So single-digit humidity through the afternoon, temperatures still incredibly hot. So hot and dry, we've got a watch-out situation. In terms of just walking the fire, whether you're working a contingency branch, branch 5, branch 10, branch 12, this afternoon we know those southwest winds pick up under the full sunshine. The difference up in branch 15, branch 18 is you're under the inversion. The inversion on the webcams this morning, it's much more shallow. The smoke is laid in. I will tell you another difference today is we have a lot less heat on the fire this morning. So those trends are in the right direction. As you work through the day, sometime around noon or so, you'll start to see a little bubbling. The inversion will attempt to break. Then as we get towards 1400 hours, some of that clear air, that really dry air from the Central Valley gets sucked in. So use 1400 as kind of your watch out for when the inversion would break. I will end it with saying that up there, right at that kind of that choke point where the zone break is, Highway 36, Highway 89, Dome Mountain, Morgan Summit, really tough country around there, a lot of canyons, obviously steep terrain. At that point, you're up to 6 to 6,500 feet. So the winds can be really unpredictable, really tough out there. As you go into the night operations, we do have really favorable down canyons, another night of really poor humidity recovery. So we still have 2 more days of just bone dry conditions out there. Thank you.
Fire behavior?
Good morning, Ross Dollarhide, Fire Behavior Analyst, Park Incident. So really quickly, I'm going to start over in branch 20, bring around the south end of the fire and up into branch 10, where we continue to see fairly consistent conditions, and our concerns remain the same. Light flashy fuels, new ignitions, it's going to want to grow. So mop up and patrol, be vigilant in those areas. Moving up into branch 12, again, same conditions that we've seen for the last several days. When the winds come up in the afternoon, it's a wind-prone area out of the south. Expect smokes to pop up in that brush patch. So coming around the shoulder there into branch 15, spot fires were the main driver. We've forecast that. We expect that to be very much the same conditions that we see today. The IMET spoke to it, just gradual, incremental improvement. It's not really going to have any effect on the fuels here. We're going to continue to see the same conditions that we've seen the last several days. Now, one caveat to that is smoke production is starting to be a bit less than we've seen. The inversion has smoke settled in the drainages right now, and as that fire footprint gets constrained, expect a little less smoke across this division. And with that, it may be isolated just up into that 172-36 area, maybe shaded out this morning, but on the margins, expect that fire to remain active. And as you get closer to the main fire burning up there off of Turner Mountain, you may get a little convective lift, some wind swirling in there, inflow winds coming in, so be mindful if you're trying to go direct in that area. Now coming across into branch 18, very similar conditions to what we saw in 15 over the last couple days. Spot fires have been the main driver. So, the burning operation that occurred going up to Dome Mountain area, sort of very highly variable in the consumption. There are significant green pockets and dirty burn areas. To be mindful that there is some reburn potential, and that also holds true for the 36 area.
Safety?
Good morning. Good morning, James Allen, Park Incident Safety Officer. You'll find today's safety products on pages 6 and 7 of your IEP. Please use those to ensure that everyone gets a briefing out there today. We're going to support you on the line with 17 safety officers. What I'd like to talk to you this morning about is just keep doing what you're doing. So we still have those critical fire conditions, that potential. Keep taking those tactical pauses in the afternoon, thinking about what's going on, having a secondary plan for when things change. Heat and hydration. It's still very hot out there, as you know. Keep up that hydration early, hydrate often, with the heat when you can get a rest break in there, take that, rehab, support your troops out there with that. Be thoughtful with your actions, be smart, and be safe.
Air operations?
Good morning, Park. Greg Bradshaw, Air Operations, Park Incident. To help you meet your operational objectives, Air Operations has tankers and air attack on early up. Helco will also be over the fire. We have 20 Type 1 aircraft, 4 Type 2 aircraft, and 7 Type 3 aircraft. We have diverted some of our aircraft to the AU fire, and that includes our night-capable helicopters. We do have 3 UAS modules on the fire, and we have 2 mobile retardant bases. We closed Pierce, but we relocated it over to Battle Creek. Closer to the firefight, shorter turns, increased proficiency. So we have double capability at Battle Creek. CAL FIRE still is supporting us with the daytime rescue ship, and the National Guard is supporting us with a night rescue ship. The word of the day you heard is spot fires. As you're out there chasing spots, whether you're working with aircraft or not, monitor your air to ground. We are a key part of your LCES. If you don't monitor, we can't talk to you. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
Communication.
Good morning, Bernie Rapp, Communications Unit Leader for the Park Fire. Clone 5 is still valid for today. Open up your IAPs to page 70 and 71. That is the 205s that are to be used on the incident. Remain in those groups and zones. Page 72, 73 are backups only, and we'll direct you to those the time is needed. On page 74, you have a communications map. Looks like this behind me to aid you in locating where the repeaters are on the incident. We also created a NIFC guide on page 75 for you for aiding you in improving your communications on the incident. Yesterday, we redeployed Command 10 over on the west side of the incident here in INSCEP. So you now have all 6 commands available to get into the system. It is an FCC violation to be on frequencies that are not on, that are authorized for this incident. So remain on the frequencies that are in the 205 to avoid any interferences with other agencies' nets. If you're new to the incident, get your radios cloned. There are special frequencies, and some of the frequencies are hard tone coded. And there will not be that way in your agency's radio program. Having the incident clone is an essential tool for good communications. Radio techs are available here and down at Chico for your programming and repair needs.
Medical.
Good morning, Steve McGarry, Park Incident Medical Unit. So the medical plan can be found on page 76. We'll continue to provide medical assistance via MERT and CalMat at both incident bases. We're going to have dedicated ALS ambulances, line medics, and REMS teams throughout the fire. Down in box 6 is the injury reporting information. Please brief your crews on that information and have them pass it up the chain of command if you need any of our resources, and we'll get the closest available. Thank you.
Information.
Good morning, Wendy Oakes, Information Park Incident. If you turn to page 77 of your IAP, I'll give you some updated numbers. As a reminder, we do have a lost and found at the front of the fairgrounds at the PIO media trailer. We have cell phones and credit cards and room keys and clipboards, so stop by and pick those up if they're yours or you're missing one. For today's acreage, it's 426,528. That's 426,528. Containment is at 34%. That's 3-4. And our total personnel is 6,592. That's 6,592. Have a great day and be safe out there.
Tehama Zone specific roll call and division assignments.
Joe Dempsey, Resource Unit Leader.
And good morning, Kent Cunningham, Tehama Operations.
We'll begin with Line Supervision, Branch 12, Emmerich. Here. Tehama Delta Echo Schmidt. Here. Hotel Juliet Quigley. Here. Lima November, Cliff Steppig.
Here. Okay. Branch 12, Andy, we had a little bit of excitement over here in Tehama Hotel. We're going to throw some more resources at you today to get it in there. We know the brush patch, 1700. We'll get another Helco up there just because we know it's gonna heat up in there. Keep pushing them. Keep buttoning this up. This is really critical to us so that we can continue to come around the corner. This is our anchor point we're coming off of.
Branch 15, Batham. Tehama, Quebec, Harris. Miguel. Uniform, LaMonica. Welch. Whiskey, Wetstein. Krill. X-ray, Pimlott. McElargy.
Okay, branch 15 today. Mike, we got to go. Okay, we've got to go today. The work that was done this last shift to fire in 36, amazing. And we held it yesterday, but it was a firefight. We're going to have another firefight in there today to hold everything. We need resources gridding north of 36. We need resources mopping up south of 36 and 172, and we need engines to remain mobile. Strike team leaders, we need your help. Make sure your engines and your crews are staying mobile if that is your assignment. Move them around, help the divisions. Hey, we got a spot here, we have a flare up here. We have to hold what we have in here today. Up here on the left side in Tehama, Uniform, Quebec, and Whiskey, continue to go direct, continue to tie that piece in. That is our last piece that we got to tie in while we hold everything at Highway 36.
Contingency Zone, Chapman. Contingency Branch, Hispanic. Group 3, DiMartino. And Callahan. Shasta Contingency, Konachek. Group 5, Cloney. Group 6, McCurtis. Crawford.
Okay, contingency group. This fire made a hard push on us on Monday and Tuesday. Started to get into our pace model a little bit. Great job getting farther extended to the north. Continue to make sure that those lines connect. Continue to evaluate those lines and clean them up in areas that we need in case we have to go to them.
Branch, Tehama, Fire Suppression Repair. Morris. Schultz. Group 1, Baikondova. Liba. Group 2, Douglas. Group 3, Lusinger. And Road 7, Anguiano.
Okay, suppression repair, keep going. Keep coming around this thing. Make those critical decisions. Watch your decision points with the weather and things like that. We're making great progress on the fire. We don't need another one. We had a great win on Tuesday with this shift, okay, fire in 36 and getting that slowed down. We were able to hold it yesterday. If we can go out there today and do good work and get that direct piece in and we can hold it, that's called a streak, okay? That's 3 wins in a row. That's called a streak. Let's go out there today, continue to work hard, all right, and let's hit a streak. Have a great day.
A few reminders for folks. At the conclusion of briefing, please go to your division breakouts. They're posted around the briefing area, starting with Tehama Delta Echo on your left and wrapping around all the way behind the briefing area. If you're an unassigned resource, please meet with the resource unit leaders at the table where you got your IAP. Please refer to page 85 of your IAP for all of the additional IAP messages. Our next cooperators meeting will be at 1000 hours. Our next planning meeting will be at 1700 hours. And our next operational briefing will be tomorrow at the same time and same place, right here at 0700 hours. Closing comments, Unified Incident Commander.
Good morning, Bob Counts, Unified Incident Commander. As you all well know, every day at 1400 this fire stands up and tries to make a hard push. I expect everyone today at 1400 hours to stop, evaluate your current position, and ensure your 10s and 18s, your LCES, are all being adhered to. Driving has become unacceptable out there. We need to slow down, everything from transports all the way down to pickup trucks. Please drive safely and defensively. We'll be monitoring driving out there today. If we catch you being unsafe, it will be dealt with appropriately. Have a productive shift and make good choices.
Good morning. Just to pick up where communications got buffered out. So page 70 and 71 of your IEPs are going to be the Butte and the Tehama zones for your operational period today. Page 72 and 73 are going to be the backup. Butte is 72 and Tehama is 73. Those are the backups. Again, we will be telling you if you need to switch to those in the event if we have any issues with the NIFC system. Page 74 is the repeater map that was currently up. That's going to be also on page 74. There is Command 10, which is back up. It's on Inskip. It's between the branch 10 and branch 12. That does provide some good coverage back into Tango Union, Tango Whiskey, and back in that area that maybe was having some hard communications getting out of there. Page 75 is kind of a NIFC bullet point. I know we've been hitting you guys hard as far as scan all your command channels. Aspects, geographical locations really pay into how you're going to be able to get out and get into the system. So we really stress on that. And if you want to just look over on that page during breakouts and stuff, it's a good little bullet points to do. Version 5 is what he said is still current. That was on 8.4. We're still utilizing that. So if you're new to the incident, please make sure you're getting cloned if you haven't gone yet. No unauthorized channels are to be used on the incident. So what you're given on the 205 is what you're supposed to be using. Crews that are having their crew channels or any secret squirrel channels, those need to be stopped immediately. And you need to utilize just the 205 channels that are in your frequencies. Also, last, I would really want to stress to this too. If you have any issues with the actual communications, or you're saying, hey, it's not working where I'm at, do us a favor, drop a pin, GPS, give us a good location. Just, let us know where you are, where it's not working. We're trying to get good coverage out there for all the areas, especially the areas that you're actually in the firefight and you're getting all the work done. Yeah, any questions, come see us. We're just over here by the snack stands. Have a good shift.
Medical, Chris Urey.
Good morning. Today's medical plan is on page 76 in your IAP. On the bottom of the 206 is your reporting instructions for any line emergencies. If you have a line emergency, follow those reporting instructions. It will get you the help that you need. Please brief your crews on those reporting procedures in your morning briefings this morning. We will have fireline EMTs, medics, REMS teams, and dedicated ALS ambulances out on the line for you this morning. And also, we do have CalMat and MERT here in camp and also at the Tehama base. Have a safe shift.
Butte Deputy Operations, Jed Gaines.
All right, good morning. Before roll call, we're going to talk about driving again. We've talked about it for the last several days, and it's continuing to be a problem. Yesterday we had a traffic collision. We were having reports of people speeding and near misses out on 32. So we're done, okay? We're going back to CHP is going to be patrolling. If we get your resource identifier, you will be released. All right, moving on to roll call. Again, for the Butte Zone Deputy Ops, that's a scratch, so scratch Dyer off there. Branch 5 and 25, Fowler. Here. Butte Division Butte, Bravo Victor X-ray, that'll be a change, it'll be Davison. Here. There's gonna be a lot of changes on your 203, so if you have your pencils out, I suggest you start writing. Butte Papa Tango, Schindler. Here. And scratch Davidson. Branch 18, Norman. Here. With Deputy Branch 18, Gorham. Here. Division Butte Charlie will be Johnson. Here. And Peterson. Here. Division Butte Echo will be Carp. Here. With trainee Ferris. Here. Division Butte Foxtrot, scratch Peterson, it'll be Clifford. Here. Branch 20, Jerry. Here. Butte Hotel, Derlew. Here. Scratch Johnson. Butte Kilo, November, Becerra. Here. Butte Staging, Mendez. Here. Butte Fire Suppression Repair, Ham. Here. And Derby. Here. And Butte Contingency, Boston. Here. Okay. Again, our priority is going to be Branch 18, and it's going to be Division Bravo Charlie out there. as you heard from Night Ops, they are doing a firing op as we speak out on Doe Mountain. We need to continue that. It's going to be a hot handoff, so you resources that are assigned out there, it's a long drive. You need to get out of camp early and get out there quickly to relieve our resources, and we need to get that finished up out there and buttoned up. That's going to be our number one priority. Ensure we got depth on there. Make sure we're holding that. Like they said, we're going to continue having spots. We've had them every day. So expect to have more spots today all along Branch 18. Make sure you have a plan, be aggressive, go after them, and extinguish them like we have been. We've been successful with everything we've had, and we need to hold it. We're getting close to calling it a win, but we're not there yet. It's not time to celebrate. We got several more days of hard work to hold what we got in there. So Foxtrot had one yesterday. Everything in Branch 18, we need to grid, keep heads on a swivel, and get that buttoned up. Down into Branch 20, you guys are doing a great job, but that is one of the most important pieces to hold that K-line and keeping that out of Deer Creek. So make sure we got good patrol, good mop up, get in there as far as you can and get that buttoned up. Down into 32, there's still some work just south of the traffic control point on Humboldt Road. I see smokes just yesterday right off the highway there, so make sure we're getting in there and getting those put out. I know there's some stump holes in there and old cut plots, but we need to get that buttoned up. Everything else down into 525 looking real good. Continue to support Cohasset, grid, mop up, and put that to bed. Branch 10's been quiet for a while, but they had that 15-acre spot come out. It's hot, it's dry, fuels are very receptive. It's not going to take much for this thing to come out and continue to get spots. We talk about LCES. Everyone is a lookout. So everyone out on the line, you need to be a lookout. If you see something, if you see smoke, you see a spot fire, communicate it, an aggressive attack, and put it out safely. With that, have a good day.
Okay, a couple of reminders. Your division breakouts are straight out back. Unassigned resources are over here. Cooperators meeting will be at 1000 hours in the Harvest Building, as well as being transmitted from with Tehama. Planning meeting will be at 1700 hours in the Harvest Building, and your next operation briefing will be tomorrow morning at 0700 hours. Closing comments, Unified IC, Kevin Bohall.
Good morning. We've came a long way in the last 2 weeks. We've had a lot of successes, a lot of challenges. We still have challenges ahead. We've got roughly 298 miles of fire perimeter that we're working here on this incident. So I wanted to talk a little bit about safety. We keep talking about safety every day. One thing that goes along with safety is diligence in your assignment. So specifically, if you're out putting in a hose lay, you're out putting in direct fire line, whether it's with a dozer or hand line, whatever it is, mop up, fire suppression repair. Being diligent, being effective, and going out and doing the best job you can on that assignment is safe. And that's actually what the definition of safety is. Doing that to mitigate risks so that you don't have issues in the future. So thank you, and have a good shift.
And that concludes your operational briefing.